Okay, on this one I did downgrade the quality to the lowest to 480 by 3, whatever the fuck, 360. And then I'm gonna stop it, and then at the last part show you the chips that are actually like messed up on the boards. Okay, anyway, I'll go ahead and finish talking. So like anyway, I'm talking to the EVGA guy because, you know, I like registered the cards. I first got them, which is like a year and a few months ago for basically both of them. So I'm talking to the dude, and I mean, because you gotta talk to him in order to even get an RMA number. So yeah, bear with me, because it's like I already said all this shit, so it's like, ugh, compensating my head. Okay, let me light this fucking cigarette, that'll fucking help. Because, I mean, you gotta think it's like a good $700 or $600 it's been burnt. So, I mean, we'll both learn a lesson off of this. It could have been multiple things, but 50-50, we both fucking did it. So yeah, I'm mad at myself. I mean, you know, can't be mad at you, even if you did anything. I'm not mad. I mean, hell yeah, I was at first. But you know what? You learn off your fucking mistakes. And my whole computer life, out of all the things I broke, it's trial and error. So, I mean, yeah, it like screwed me for eBay and trying to make money for the fucking bills. But, hey, well, money is money, right? Are rich people happy? No. They're not. So, you know, it's good that I took a few days, you know, just to chill and not think about it. So now I can talk about it. So anyway, I'm talking to the dude, and I told him about it. I was like, yeah, well, the cards were getting really hot and all this, because I'm trying to make out to him that, you know, they're burnt, because basically on one, the chip is actually burned, because it got too much power, it looks like. And when I actually turned it on, the chip on it, like right where the CPU is, here, and I'll show you this in detail on the last video. I'm going to up the quality all the way, and I'm only going to do it for like 30 seconds or so, just to show you the chips, because I'm pretty sure you want to see it. Okay, so it's like burnt, and it actually turned orange when I turned on the card. Fucking turned orange. So it's crazy. Goddamn cigarette went out. How about that? Okay. Alright, so I'm talking to the dude, and he's like, it sounds like a power supply problem. And I was like, well, I build computers, and I thought the same thing at first. And I have a really good power supply. I was like, I have an Antac 80 plus silver continuous power, true power, quattro. So, quote, he says, actually that is a pretty good card. And I said, yeah, and I even thought the same thing at first. So I ran tests on it with the, you know, correct hardware. And he said, okay, and I says, and all the results were fine. It came out fine. And I says, and I actually just got a new 590. And I was so scared to plug it in at first. But when I did, it worked fine. And I said, plus, I called a few months ago telling the guys that I'm running SLI with these two cards, and they're getting to around 100 to 110 Celsius. So he's like, that's really hot. And I said, yeah. So they told me to open the case and put a case fan next to it and put it on high. Look what I did with the cigarette. I'm fucking stupid. Alright, so, I was like, yeah, and they told me that, and I've already been doing that. And I said, when I first got the cards, they were hot, but they weren't that hot. And I was like, also, once a month, I take a Q-tip and dip it in alcohol, and I rub all the dust off of the fan. And at first, I was like, oh shit, he's going to tell me, alcohol? No, you can't do that. But no, he was like, okay, that's smart. He says, most people do not know that. And we kept on going on, and then he was like, alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and write up the RMA. So he starts writing up the 2 RMAs for me, because to be able to send them out and all that, they got to agree with you and want to write them. So he was like, alright, well, I'll go ahead and write them up. And it took him about 5 minutes. Well, during the 5 minutes, we're talking about the 590 compared to the 2 480s. And basically, he's saying, like, so well, what did you notice about the difference? And I told him, you know, my opinion, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah, well, it's the 2 480s is going to run higher frames per second most of the time, but is going to go constantly down and up, down and up, down and up. And he says where the 590 will always remain constant and is pretty high frame per second, but the 480s can actually top it. But you know, and I was doing benchmarks myself, and yeah, the 2 480s did top it. But when you go to the games and the DirectX 11 and shit, I mean, what would you rather be, going down, up, or maintaining a goddamn pretty good constant high frame rate? So the 590's cool. So, anyway, I guess I'm gonna finish this one up really fast, and then I'm gonna show you the details, because I pretty much almost said everything I said in the first video that got fucked. And actually, before this one gets fucked, I'm going to go ahead and send this one to you and finish it on the last video.